Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm wearing plain clothes today on account of that it's a heat wave in London, so I'm dressing informally. But the broadcast itself is very formal. The subject matter is of a highly sensitive nature. Throughout the world, you have what is known as the family courts. The family courts have a history of placing vulnerable children with the most abusive of people. Anything from people that have been convicted from criminal activity, abuse, all manner of abuse, and it looks like the family courts are complicit as well as directly involved in placing children in these vulnerable positions. It is like somebody breaks into your home and steals your children overnight, just as we are being exposed to as the Nazis did with the Jews. The words that I'm using are to be able to convey to you the severity of the problem globally. This is more prevalent in Australia as well as in the US, but it is a global issue. The objective of myself and the two people that I'll be introducing you to, that will be, shall we say, heading this task force, I will introduce later on. So I want to recap on a few things. You have what is known as state child trafficking. What that means is that the state itself is involved in trafficking children. That could be newborn right up to 15, 16 years old. The reason why that is, I will come on to later, and how they're getting away with it. I would love to add more and more words to the severity of the problem that we face globally. Myself, once we have tracked down these people and hold them accountable, it is to put them into prison, and where barbarism has been performed, they will be having a death sentence, because barbarism has no forgiveness, because that's why they call it barbarism. We are not talking about acts of barbarism, because that is just acting out barbarism. The things that I'm speaking about at the moment, we cannot find any record of anybody doing what we are about to do. And I have been thinking this over for many years, and I have much experience as well as first-hand experience. I mean first-hand experience of child napping, kidnapping, so on and so forth. Child, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately means ward of state. Kidnapping, quite literally, means the children of Baphomet. Kid is a baby goat. The reason why you have so many different names is because that's what they're saying it is, and therefore no crime has been committed, since it was only a kid, a baby goat, usually used for sacrifices and to satisfy, of course, people's pleasures. I would go on and on the level of how much these people hide behind words. But you know, and I know, this is a global problem. The movie stars that you see, the movie stars that are so very, how can I put it, that look themselves so philanthropic, are actually publicizing on the part of their handlers how wonderful it is to steal children or young people, sons and daughters from people, and hand them over for a profit to wannabe parents, as it were. So, repeating myself, it is my intention to put them into prison, and no judge, none of the court officers have any immunity on this. Everybody is under the penalty of perjury. What that means is that I stand under the penalty of perjury not to lie. The language that they use is called Shakespearean language, and they use to hide behind that, to say, well, that's not what we meant. But what you did, you can never, ever escape from. And that was what you've been caught out on. Coming on to another subject that is raging through the social media at the moment is what they call genital mutilation or gender reassignment. The reason why this is happening to thousands of children all over the world is because the fiction world of rapists who do these things for real are sexing it up and funding it to get you to believe that your baby is not a boy but a girl, and a girl is a boy. In other words, they can claim no standing in order to recruit them into the world of fiction. Because anybody that has gone through this mutilation is actually called a mutilation. It's called a mutant. And mutants have no standing in law. For those people that have that inability to distinguish who they are, what they are, and have no center of gravity, this has been engineered in you through decades of what they call cross-dressing, cross-gendering, and confusing you with the coloring of the law. Hence, you have lost your center of gravity, and you question yourself, and you transition from one moment to another, as if to say you don't know who you are, because people that do not know what they are have no standing in law, and they can make no law. They can create no law. Everything is given to them, or they're simply taken out. Gender reassignment, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the most traumatic things that you can imagine. It is like me mutilating you with anesthesia, cutting away at your breast, cutting away at your genitals, reforming these things in the image that a corporation wants it to be. So they can constantly sell you and keep you addicted to their products. The fashion industry is heavily involved in this as well. There are hundreds of people at this moment that are talking about the horrors of gender reassignment. So for that reason, please take some time to watch and learn what they have to say. As part of this horror that mankind finds himself in is also organ harvesting. You are essentially, when you register, fall under the registrar at birth, and they govern whether you should have your organs intact or not, especially if you have been weakened by narcissists and psychopaths. You can check that information yourself. It is lawyers that decide that, and not physicians. Lawyers that have been doing this will also face the death penalty. There can be no forgiveness for barbarism. The key words, and please listen very carefully to what I'm about to say. Listen very carefully. You have what is known as the pharmaceutical industry, which is another word for makers of poisons and potions. And that's the designation that you have when you go into hospitals. You are given those things which are classified as toxicity and potions. These are the white coats and the placebo effect that doctors have, acting like gods, acting like gods. The key word that you need to understand and work into, and I please ask every single one of you that are working on this campaign, you don't need to credit this for me. And I know when you hear these words, you feel shy of using it because you know where it comes from. Because you guys don't want to be associated with me. And that is perfectly fine. I feel the same about so many different things. The word that you are looking for to unlock that world of fact and fiction, separating it, is called legal medicine. Because legal medicine is founded upon science with tests and trials, as it were. The legal medicine, soon as you use this, is this legal medicine? They have now been served notice that they have been caught out in performing illegal operations, illegal so-called medications, and partaking in illegalities. Sorry about the listing of the word. Big Pharma has many things to answer for. And these people are so complacent that they believe that they can get away with it, just as a criminal or a rapist thinks that they can get away with it because they have a history of getting away with it. But you cannot get away with it because I do what I say. This is what I need from you people. These are the things that we need. The things that we're about to do, and the people that I'm going to introduce you to, are the ones that will be championing this. And in order to do that, we need resources. So what I'm going to do is ask every single one of you to be able to find and help us find a platform where we can receive funds that we have custodial powers over, rather than receiving it through a bank and they simply confiscate it. We are having difficulty, even though we are resourceful, finding a platform where we are the custodians. So when you send us $1 or $10 or whatever it is, that transmission of that money is that we have custody over it, so it doesn't get lost into the world of banking, because this is also part of banking. Organ harvesting is also part of banking. Transgender movement is about banking. It is also about gender reassignment. As we speak, ladies and gentlemen, there is a huge campaign among school teachers and the most mediocre to the most wicked of people to get your children, your babies, your young ones, your sons and daughters, whatever words you wish to use, to reassign their gender. And they do that by constantly questioning, are you sure you feel like a boy? Would you like to wear a dress? Surely you must have been born as a girl as opposed to a boy. If you are, let us know, and we will affirm this with you. They're basically programming your children, just as you, if you was to bring up your baby saying it is clever, intelligent, it will go on to do clever and intelligent and wonderful things, irrespective of their high Q performance. And just on the other hand, the tragic events when the parents tell them how stupid they are, whether they are clever or stupid, they are more they are more exposed to becoming that which is stupid. It is a curse, ladies and gentlemen, to allow the local imperantis to do this to your own babies, sons and daughters. Now, when you give us the information, please email us what platform we can use to be able to do that. And then we will make another transmission as well as by email to say we have got the platform and we are ready now to take those gifts, donations, or whatever it is. But what is going to be unique, what is going to be the most unique thing about what I am doing is that it will be done on an open ledger. That means when you give us $1 or 100 or 1,000 or 10,000 or whatever it is, we would like us to record that, register that, and on my website to say that's what you have done. So that is you passing on your electricity to us through that money transfer. So we can conduct the business of voting. We can conduct the business of ampage. I am talking about the elements of power. So if you wish to do it anonymous, we will respect it. But what we really require is 10,000 people, 20,000 people gifting, donating, little as $1. And for you to give us your factual names. We will accept nothing from corporations. You can have corporations, that's fine, but we can only accept it in your factual name, not in your signature name, not in your legal fiction name, but in your factual name as men and women. And we would like to list it on my website, which is mkchristopher.com. To say these are the people that are helping us. These are the people that are championing us. They themselves are the champion. We are doing this for the people and by the people. So we are not just simply doing this for ourselves. The funds that you will give us will be open ledger. Open ledger. And the two people that I'll be introducing you to, Janine and Matthew. Sorry about the listing of the voice. My mouth is running dry. And the temperature in this room as I speak is around about 38 degrees. And I am wondering how comes I'm not sweating already. Okay. But please keep with me. It is extremely hot here and my mouth is drying up. Do you guys have anything to drink for me? I just simply forgot.
Okay.
Thank you. So, and we will tell you on a weekly report, verbally, how we're doing, what we're doing. The task force that I have set up, the two people are going to be involved, which I will introduce you to. They will be spearheading that, and I'm using creative language, okay? And they need to be paid, as it were, for the things that they're going to do. But you will see where the funds are coming from, and you will see where the funds are going to, and the results. In other words, you out there will be 100% invested in us bringing about the change in the world. The family courts, ladies and gentlemen, cannot exist anymore. And they cannot hide behind judicial immunity any more than politicians can hide behind political immunity, as it were. I've forgotten what the exact name is. Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen, while I get my cup and glass of water. Thank you very much. We've been at this all day. I just simply forgot to even This is such a emotive subject. It is challenging for me to keep my emotions controlled. If I haven't made it clear, all this is part of zero tolerance. And this horrific thing that they do is so vast, it's breathtaking, and I don't have the words to describe it. When the producer is ready, I would like to show some slides for you. The slide that you're going to see is a courthouse. Do you remember a few months ago when I showed you this courthouse that looks like a ship, and people began to ask me, and David Way Miller spoke about this as well, why does it have to look like a ship? It's because they're advertising to your subconscious mind, which they've subdued, that this is actually a ship and you're coming aboard a ship, which is a totally different jurisdiction from the rest of the country that it's sitting on, called a vessel in dry dock. When you go aboard that ship, you've essentially, quote unquote, from David Way Miller's own words, you have left the territory of America and you have entered a different world, a different country. It is like a ship from China that is flying a Chinese flag, which means under maritime law, all the laws of China operate in that ship. And if you are aboard that ship, you have to know how to navigate through their Chinese systems. That's how they work. But since this courthouse does not fly who they are, what language they use, which country they're from, you're essentially entering a different world. In other words, these courthouses are using these courthouses to remove your children, your babies, your money, your houses, etc. They are big bags of vacuum that suck the life out of it. You folks, you Americans and the rest of the world will have to hold them to account. Just as I do and just as I have to. Because they are parasites. They never told you they are from a different country. They never told you they speak a different language from you. All they are charging you with is trespassing, and the penalty to get out might mean to leave your baby behind, or your bank account, or $50, or your house. You understand the horrors of what I am speaking about. Now let us go on to the subject matter, the matter itself of child trafficking, state child trafficking. Can we have the slide of a school, please? The school that you are looking at is I think it's a nursery school. What new school?
North Beckton Primary School.
It is a primary school, and that primary school, look at the image, that is a little girl. The three pyramids that you see are the three pyramids that would be in Egypt. The cross or the crucifix that you see on the chest of that building, as it were, on the rooftop, is a upside down cross. It is a upside down cross. Every single Christian, what would you think if I wore a upside down cross? Am I saying to you that I am one of the disciples that decided to become crucified, that decided to crucify himself upside down? Or do you believe that there is great evil at work? If you go around the perimeters of that building itself, the edges of the building, you will come to the legs. And when you see the legs, you will see the genitalia of that girl. And the people, the adults, the children, all go through that genitalia into the body of the school itself. This is open advertising. It is open advertising to the rest of the world, just like that courthouse. Here in this school, this is what we practice. We are grooming your children to become sexual, to be sexually active before the age of sexuality. These schools, ladies and gentlemen, are performing some of the greatest evil that you can imagine. I know it is challenging for every man and woman on this planet to realize what is going on, but this is going on because you are witnessing it. You are participating in that. Do you remember what I said to you? People cannot hide behind words when they have done what they have done. It doesn't matter what language you think you speak or what jurisdiction you think you can claim under. You have broken the fundamentals of mankind. You've entered the world of barbarism. And as a Chief Federal Postal Court judge that deals with the language itself, as well as a plenipotentiary judge that is educating you on these matters. And I have a few other positions, which is the master to safeguard this entire planet. Once Janine has done her research, we will be handing it over. I will be personally overseeing that to the Navy and the various task force in question. And I will make sure that they are picked up and that they are prosecuted and gone to prison, or if be, hung by the neck, or whatever means needs to be done. The people that do these things believe that they can do it because they believe that they've been successful raping children for so long that they can continue doing it. Because if you have a history of success, why give it up? Well, we're going to teach them why you need to do what you need to do is going to have severe consequences. The two people that I mentioned are my Tricks and Traps university students that brought this information to me, and they said to me they would like to take this further. I accepted it, and as a result, I said to them, let me do it in such a way for you that you can spend your working life, as it were, pursuing this. And let the funds for this come through for the people, because we're doing this for the people. I myself will not be taking any of the funds. I will be doing this pro bono, as it were. But they will need to be compensated to pursue this. And we'll give you an open ledger that will be open, and we'll tell you what's coming in and what is going out. So that is that. Do I have any more? Yes, I do. Now, can I have some more water, please?
Thanks.
If you can just take your time, that would be really good. It really is 38 degrees inside here. Thank you very much. The footage that you're about to see and hear, and the hearing bit is very important. If you can't hear it, we've dropped the link. Here you are. This is a documentary. The documentary makers are called Four Corners. This is a four corner. It's a contract. Your Bible is a contract. The Quran is a contract. Your contract is a contract. That comes under the four corner rule. Every game that's ever played on this planet comes off of a four corner rule. I could, you explore some of my videos and you'll get more information on that. This documentary is documenting some Australian women that found themselves in Australia. And I think it is a minister or a government official revealing to you in one sentence what you folks need to understand, that this is a theater. This whole thing that you see, shootings and etc., you don't know whether it's true or not. This whole planet is running on a theater production. Can you now play this for me? And you need to listen. So quieten your mind, switch off that internal voice, and listen.
These are not innocent women who have taken their children into the theatre of war. Most
Thank
of
you.
the children are under...
Stop, please. Thank you. I'm using that footage under fair market usage, and then as a plenipotentiary judge, I need to use that to educate you. So it's under fair market license. That minister, if he is a minister, and I have not checked on it, is letting you know that this is a theatre of war, that these women have entered a theatre of war. A theatre, ladies and gentlemen, is a theatre, like a cinema theatre, like a Shakespearean theatre. And you do not know what you see on telly, whether it's true or not true, whether they're crisis actors or not. But what he is doing as part of a public disclosure is letting you know we also operate, they also operate on the theatre of war. I am not an actor. I do not pass acts and all these other things of not. What you see is what I am. What I'm speaking about is what you're hearing from me as a man. And you are on a geometric level playing field with me, and I and everybody else that is listening is under the penalty of perjury. I am now going to hand it over for you folks to meet the couple. And I am so bad at names I forgot, even though I've known them for like 3 months, okay? And I do apologize. And plus it's very hot. And, you know, it's difficult to concentrate. So let me introduce you to Janine and Matthew.
Hello everyone. I'll start off, shall I? I just wanted to say that the reason we've put ourselves forward for this job, because it doesn't seem like many have, or anyone has, and someone has to stand up to take this on. Now, if we don't do it, who will? Mark is very busy. He's expressed himself to us to say he is up to here with work, and he does need some help in this, government state child trafficking issue. So we are asking for any donations, any help in bringing this matter to a close so we can stop history repeating itself.
Okay, thank you very much, guys. I'm full caller Matthew, and for some who might have seen me before, I'm usually joking about, but that's just my character. I refuse anyone to take away from me. But there's another side of Matthew which is very committed and fearless, and we'll go the full distance with these guys. We're here to make the task force. We are the task. We're not the force, but we are the task. And we're here to make changes. It's child trafficking. We've got to research all the evidence, what's going to be needed. And I believe that with you lot's support and your good energy and positive views behind us, there's nothing going to stop us, Nothing stopped us for 2 years. Apparently after 18 months...
You give up.
You give up. No, it's not optional in our case. It's forward or nothing.
Yeah.
And the only way I can say forward is that Mark has given us his opportunity to be able to actually make a difference with a subject sort of very dear and close to our hearts.
So thank you, Mark. Thank you for this.
So we thank you for that, Mark. Very close, as in the picture of the school. That is actually a school my daughter went to. I could submitted to going to that school. And I could go into detail, but not for today. So anything you can do, any help you guys can do and put Janine and myself's way will be
very much appreciated.
And I think you can tell from us before that we won't back down.
We'll keep going.
It's one way or nothing. I've never given up like that. I'm not a quitter. And there's old saying in England, I don't hear no fat lady sing. It's not over to the fat lady sings, and I don't hear no one singing. So please support us, and we will be committed. I go out there.
We'll bring back results.
We will bring back.
Essentially, they're going to help you. The people of the world is going to help you and aid you bringing about the change.
Yes.
So this is the message that we're carrying, because the people themselves openly, publicly have to say that we have created a task force
Yes.
for you guys to do this.
Yeah, with the help of the public.
Yeah, with the people, okay, from the people. Because without the people, you're
It won't
just
happen.
doing things for people that don't want it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if they don't, aid you,
Yes.
and if they don't go with you on this journey,
It won't happen as.
you're doing it for no reason. You're
Yeah.
just doing it for one or two people
Yeah.
that find themselves in a crisis moment.
Yeah.
So the energy has to come from the people. Without it, it's like me growing food for people and they saying, well, we don't want your food, Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're starving, but we don't want your food.
The people are just as important as we are to bring this change. Basically, is what
So
Mark's trying
pull
to
out
say.
to men and women out there,
Yeah.
please.
We need your help.
When they do this for you, when they send that dollar, because we haven't got a platform yet,
Yeah.
because we don't trust the existing platform.
Not at all.
So the people out there listening, they're going to find a platform for you because that's their investment
Yes.
in you. And that's going to be transmitted as electricity into your world where you can go out and do what you're doing.
Yeah, to make-
And I will supervise you and etc. And of course, I will let the public know if you've done anything wrong and I'll simply strike you out.
Yeah.
But I will tell them
Yes.
why that has happened.
Yeah.
And that's called a fail-safe.
Yes.
Because at the moment, you bloody people out there that do this stupid voting, you have created no fail-safes for these half-witted politicians to pick them up and smack them across their head and kick them out. But instead, they have made tyranny over you. Put in the bloody fail-safes with the people that you vote. Put them under the penalty of perjury. Tell them, you half-witted politician, come here now. Otherwise, I'm going to drag you out and put you under arrest as being a bad actor in the world of theatre. Yeah, you have performers
Yeah.
and you have, is my voice coming through?
Yeah.
You have actors that are performers, that are performing what they call good actors, and you have bad actors. And these people are not doing their performances. They are all actors,
Yeah.
acting for individual men and women that back them and sponsor them using your goddamn money.
Yeah.
Your goddamn money. The politicians, their prime ministers and all of them, they are working for people in their private capacity and in their public performance. They're getting the whole world to believe their acts are for real
Yeah.
and that we have given you legal entity names to rob you of your children, your organs, and etc. So if I have not made that very clear, you, the people, are the ones that are creating this task force, that are funding it for the benefit of yourselves. This is a fund. This is your own fund, just like your own bank account. That's what, I want to convey to people. And since you came forward and you're willing to throw yourself into this, I'm going to support you.
Thank you, Mark.
I'm going to support. I'm not going to take anything, but I will support you in the things that you know that needs to be done.
Yes.
Yeah, and we'll see this through, whether it takes months or years. We'll see it through that the kidnappers, the judges,
Yep.
the lawyers are strung up for it.
Yeah.
Do you folks remember that movie, The Sixth Sense?
Yep.
When that little boy confronts the teacher and he says to him, this school was once a courthouse. And the teacher is bloody ignorant, and they are ignorant because they are grooming your children to become victims. He said, this school is a courthouse. And they used to hang the boys and girls, young children, boys and girls, and mothers and fathers in this hallway. And the teacher said, judges don't do that. And the boy looked at him and saying, you never heard of a hanging judge? So hopefully you've made it clear, and I've made it very clear that this is about the people.
Yes.
We are growing food for your babies, and if you don't want that food, you've got to let us know by not giving us any money.
Yeah.
You've got to do that. But if you want us to do this, put that dollar in. Tell us the platform we need to use.
Yes.
Because we don't have the time to spend 2-3 weeks to do this. It costs thousands of pounds for me to be able to do this type of research. Yeah.
Time and
I
effort.
can't find a safe platform. I don't use banks. I have one bank account which I keep minimum amount in. Yeah. That's what that's about. So I'll hand it over back to you guys.
Well, as you can see, Mark is not going to let us, slack on this case. He's going to be on us to make sure that we're bringing results, that we're finding the information, that we're bringing forward the information, and then I'll give to Mark then to go on, and we'll be talking to constables in the Navy to make sure this change does come round and they do get
Can I ask you guys
justice.
to really slow down your
Yeah,
speech?
so basically what we're saying to you guys is that we have got first-hand experience in the mutilation of a youngster, of child trafficking. So we are in the thick of this, dear to our hearts. I'm not saying that no one else has experiences or know things like this, but we are willing to put our faces on the line.
Yeah.
We're not going to back down. As you can, if anyone knows me, they know my character already. Even if I was afraid, which I'm not, it's my duty.
Yeah.
As long as I've got a duty, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep going. So you can bet your ass that this man here is not going to stop until someone is hanging in the gallows, and that is a promise. I'm going to make my mark in history by being a man who's taken down one of these men or women or whatever monsters they are.
Yeah.
Not money. The money doesn't determine
matter.
my success rate.
Yeah.
What I can do and look in my daughter's face and look in every other son and daughter of everyone else, every man and woman, and know that I have put security in the future, if it's 10 years from now, 20 years from now, for our kids or children, whatever you're a human, man, woman, whatever you want to label them as safe.
Yeah.
And that is a promise from my heart.
We just want to go back to the way it was when we was growing up, when we could play out in the garden, we could play out in the streets, we could actually feel comfortable with playing outside. Since my children have been young, I have not felt comfortable with letting them out of my sight, because I've always been physically and emotionally aware of what's really going on. It's only the last 2-3 years since, COVID, that it opened my eyes to the point to find Mark in the first place, what led us to Mark, which led us to do this now. It's our calling, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So I call it. But we ran around the block 50 times before we actually found where we was meant to be going, and we got thrown around in this so-called fictional act world, and you can see most of them acts, but it's when you really your mind opens and you see things what they are. It's time to take a stand, because I am sick of these people. I'm literally sick. I lose sleep. I'm one of them men.
We're homeschooling as well, by the way.
Homeschooling my child. She will not go to any of those public schools. Why? We know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Why am I going? I'd rather my daughter not be able to read and write than be groomed, subject for abuse when she's older. I have another daughter that's been subjected all over news without my consent at 15.
On ITV News.
International news. So this is very dear to my heart. I'm committed, with you guys or not, but with Mark and the Global Federal Court behind me, and a task force a force backing the task, I feel like they're going.
We're unstoppable with the help, especially with the public's help as well. We will become unstoppable.
This is a warning out for anyone who's watching, who's on that side. Have no illusion. I will feel
This is a caution. We don't perform warning because that's warfare.
Caution.
We will allow the Navy
Yeah.
and the necessary agencies out there to do our task.
Yes.
Because we don't carry guns and etc. because we don't need to.
No.
Well, we will be going for the gallows, because that's all I'm going to do. That's all I'm going for. I don't want to see no one in prison. I don't want to see these men and women on the earth anymore.
Yeah.
Anymore. They've violated my home, social services, the police.
Yeah.
over what arts in the school, certain questions that they didn't like, to the point that we had to fight them off and then take my kid out of 2 schools. As one of them, you've just witnessed what sort of school we are dealing with. So have no illusion.
First-hand
There's no
knowledge.
backing down here.
Yeah.
There's no going against each other here. It's straight. We're going to take these whatever they want to be known as down.
Yeah.
And down mean down. Like, I wouldn't be down here with Mark now unless Mark was taking them to the death penalty. I don't want to know about prison. There's prisons down there. And prisons don't do nothing, no good.
As we know, paedophiles are let back out within 2 years most of the time. So
And paedophiles have rights.
yeah.
That includes the rights to do what? Adopt, including having the rights to look after children and be around children and etc. That's what monsters' rights are.
Oh.
Human rights.
Human rights.
For a bandit means your right to be a monster. That's what that means. They are speaking to the world in what's known as passe.
Yeah.
They're hypnotizing you with these words so they lose what the meaning of these words are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like that politician, whoever that was, and I don't know who it was, that said in the theater of war. That's what he wants you to hear, that this is just a theater in Syria.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you guys need to say anything more, or
No.
you guys done? Well,
Just say thank you for everyone taking the time. If you are watching live, we really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And once again, I say I know I've got a very jokey nature, but that's why, because I refuse to let anyone take my spirit, my character. I've been pushed and kicked about all my life. It's not going to take away what makes me a man.
Yeah.
You know.
But we'd like to say thank you to you as well, Mark,
Thank you to Mark
for putting us in
and
this
to the
position.
producer for
Andrew.
supporting us really today. So
That's fine. Just stay there, please. We haven't finished yet. So, thank you very much. You know, the audience, and I want to say something about audience. Listen very carefully. There isn't enough room there for me to stand up, but I'm on a level playing field with you under the penalty of perjury. Do you know what an audience means? It means that you are the authority in the matter. AU means authority, as in gold. That's why when you get injured by one of these theater shows, their world needs to come down. If any piece of their theater show touches the audience and does injury, then the entire world of fiction is up for taking, and they need to be taken down. And there are agencies involved in doing that, and as we get closer and closer, we are breaking that code. Yeah, what they call the power of agency. So, thank you very much. Excellent.
Thank you.
World,
thank you
meet
guys.
these 2 people.
Thank you, honestly.
Thank you, and thank you for your support when you give it. Thank you very much. We do need your help in any way, shape,
and
and form.
and we do respect every comment. And I'll just say to the guy who said that I joke about a lot and I'm not serious, please, I'm not.
Yeah.
It's just that I refuse to let anyone take my character. So if I've offended anyone in any way, I'm not. I don't take things lightly. It's just my way of dealing with things, you know. Some people get angry and kick and scream and fight.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So,
But thank you very
the
much.
reason why some of his head is because he is actually 6'5", and he is almost as tall as the roof itself in this
Yeah.
building.
I'm bending my knees slightly to make myself look a bit
So
smaller.
that's how tall. I am exactly 6'4",
Yeah, and
and he's 6'5".
Should I stand up straight, shall I?
So this is him standing up straight. He's really touching the roof. You know?
that shows.
I'm going to crouch back down now,
That's
guys.
the only reason why. And the reason why I mentioned that is because the reason why the judiciary put their caps on, okay, that black and white cap that they use, is so the creator or God doesn't see the wickedness that they are doing. That's why they wear it. All judges, if they're not wearing it, they'll be standing under a canopy. It's so God does not judge them for them judging and playing tricks and wickedness on mankind.
So, crafty
Okay.
these.
So, welcome aboard. Thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.